Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. And guys, in this video, I would discuss about like Active Directory Kerberos authentication process, how it takes place and how it happens. So in this video, we are going to learn about four things. First of all, what is Kerberos and what are the features, and Kerberos protocol flow and authentication process. I hope this video will be valuable for you. So in this, first of all, what we should and what we will learn, what is Kerberos. We will understand Kerberos. Okay, so Kerberos is like it is a authentication protocol. Basically, it creates a authentication between client and server application. Very simple. It is developed. It is meant for the authentication only, to establish authentication between client server and any application which is installed on server. And this protocol relies on the combination of private key encryption and access ticket to safely verify your identities. So once again, it is a verification of identity only. Okay, but it has more powerful mechanism for this process, which makes it quite very secure as compared to NTLM. Okay, NTLM was developed in 1993 for the same process, for the same purpose, but that was not so good. There were lots of possibilities to be hacked and to be cracked and to be decrypted. So after that, this came in existence, and now it is in use. As of now, as per my knowledge, there is no replacement of this one. So Kerberos is in use. It is used by Active Directory by default. Okay, and third here, guys, the main reason for adapting Kerberos are plain text passwords are never sent across an insecure network. Okay, so security is more in this protocol. So if that communication is happening or establishing, the password will not be going in the form of plain text password, okay, over insecure network. So security will be there as much as it can provide. Next, Kerberos is a computer network authentication protocol that works on the basis of ticket to allow nodes communicating over non-secure network to prove their identity to one other in secure manner. So it has some ticketing sort of mechanism to work here or to follow in this, which makes more secure as compared to other protocols for authentication. So I will discuss about that process also. So ticketing is more important here. Okay, how it is, we'll see. Now guys, Kerberos is a network authentication protocol. Very simple. It is designed to provide a strong authentication for client and server application by using secret key. So it uses secret key, it uses ticketing. Okay, secret key cryptography basically. So now it is very clear. It is using two mechanism or combination of two mechanism to make it more secure. One is ticketing, second one is secret key cryptography. Okay, now we will see here. The Kerberos architecture is designed around message exchange between the following entities. So it is basically a process where there will be lots of message exchange between both the parties of the communication. So it includes, the very first one is, first party is client. Client is what? Who is looking to take authentication or gain authentication from the server, or looking to access the resources or any application on the network. So client, that is okay, that use Kerberos services. Now the next one is server, that provides services. This is a server, okay, and this is client. So I am requesting from here, and it will provide you, the server will provide you service. Okay, and the client and server are collectively called or referred as principals, both. So I hope two is very clear. One is client, one is server. Client who will use the service, and the server who will, or that will provide services. Next one is server. One more server will be there, that will be known as KDC. KDC stands for key distribution center. So guys, server that manages the Kerberos protocol itself. So it will be responsible for the management of Kerberos protocol. Okay, this KDC, and comprises several module services. So it has lots of services. I hope it is clear. One is client, one is server, and the next one is KDC, that is also known as Kerberos server. Okay, now let me tell you about some feature here. So guys, the Windows operating system implement the Kerberos version 5 for authentication. Okay, and extensions for public key authentication, transporting authorization data, and delegation. So they will be using version 5 for all these process, transporting authorization data and public key authentication protocol. Next, the Kerberos authentication client is implemented as a security support provider. I'm talking about Kerberos authentication client. Okay, this is the Kerberos authentication client is implemented as security support provider, that is SSP, and it can be accessed through the security support provider interface, SSPI. And let me tell you a little more about it. Initial user authentication is integrated with the bin logon single sign-on architecture. Initial time, I was talking about 1993 or before that only. So they were using bin logon single sign-on architecture. Now what has happened? The Kerberos key distribution, that is KDC, is integrated with other Windows Server security service that run on the domain controller. And the KDC uses the domain's Active Directory domain service database as its security account database. And Active Directory domain service is required for default Kerberos implementation within the domain or forest. So Active Directory is mandatory to use Kerberos authentication. Okay, and I will show you that flow here now. So guys, as I told you, it requires three things. One is client, the next one is server, and third one is KDC. So that is also known as authentication server. So let me show you here something. So guys, if you look at this third one here, the authentication server performs the desired client authentication. Okay, very first thing, that authentication server will be giving as per the request of client authentication. If the authentication process happen successfully, the authentication server issues the ticket that is called TGT, ticket granting ticket. Okay, it is known as ticket granting ticket. If this authentication happens successful, that is what I'm telling you. Thus, authentication server issues the client a ticket. Okay, it will issue one ticket to client, that is known as ticket granting ticket. This ticket assures the other server that the client is authenticated. So it will give you like authentication and permission or some sort of assurity that yes, this client is authenticated. For example, I have one server here, I have one server here, and I have one more server here, and they are you can say they are pool. Okay, load balancing, I should say, in one client here. And this AS authentication server has authenticated this client, so it will have that assurity with this ticket granting ticket. This server is authenticated, so I can access resources from here, because it will be containing that ticket granting ticket with this request every time, if it is going to this server, if it is going to this server inside the network. About next one here, guys. Now I will tell you this KDC. Okay, KDC is like key distribution center. In Kerberos environment, the authentication server logically separated into three parts. So guys, this authentication server will be logically separated in three parts. One is database, second one is authentication server, and third one is ticket granting server. And these three parts in turn exist in a single server that is called KDC distribution server. I hope it is very clear. I will show you next slide. It will give you clear picture here. And this ticket granting server is like, that TGS is an application server that issues service ticket as a service. Now I will show you in next slide this whole picture, how it is structured and established and configured. So guys, there are unique secret key for the client user and the TGS and the server shared with authentication server. Okay, so there will be couple of key. So here, first of all, if you see, client user has derived from the user's password, and if we talk about TGS, secret key, hash of the password employed in determining the TGS, and server secret key, hash of the password used to determine the server providing the service. So in this process, this much secret keys will be used. Okay, and let me show you. This is what I was talking about, guys. Here is the process of authentication. Okay, so first of all, if you see, let me tell you, I will give you a very clear info here about it. For example, I am a user. Okay, I am a user or I am a client. This is my client machine, and you should understand this architecture first of all. And I have one PC or mobile where I want to access some information from my server. And let me show you, this is the server from where I want to access this box, complete box. Okay, this complete box is my server from where I am accessing application. So it has three server. It is a load balancer configured, server 1, server 2, server 3, and the application is happening, storage here. So from here I want to access. This is the situation. Okay, first of all, you should understand. And now I am trying to access that application either from my mobile device or from web browser. So let me open one web browser. I have accessed this web browser. From here I want to access for any website. For example, this Gmail is implemented here only. So either I can access on my mobile or from computer. So I gave this Gmail. Okay. So what is happening here? I am using one web browser. From here that request is going, then only this application is coming to me, or this web browser or this Gmail is coming. So what is happening here? Okay, that request is happening from here. Application have to respond from here, but before that it has to go through multiple step it has to complete for successful authentication. I am authenticated user, then only I am able to access it. How it happens? Let me show you. And here you can see this is a web browser. This web browser is having lots of mechanism. Okay, like this plugins and couple of things. So I am considering this complete as a web browser only. Okay, this entire setup. So I am accessing from here. So that the browser has to follow couple of procedure, whatever is it has to, and it has to follow. So like web agent and a couple of things, even I don't know what it has to do, but it is doing. So it is part of this web browser only. So now what we have to do, what will happen here, I hope you understood. And now if I tell you about this thing also, KDC. So guys, this is a KDC here. This KDC combines authentication server and granting server also, ticket granting server also. Okay, so this will be single machine. This three part will be installed at one place only, on one server. Okay, so now if I tell you, let me delete all those things. I hope it is very clear. We will understand. Very simple. I am a user here. From here I am accessing this application or any storage or any resources, where how I would get authentication with this Kerberos. Very clear. And for that let me show you step by step here. So let me remove first these items here. Okay, so guys, as you can see here, this is the first step. I am logged into my computer, and from computer I accessed one web browser. This is my web browser. Now this is the first. What will happen? Second, look at from here, it is coming, it is passing, it is going through all the steps it has to follow. Now this is going to this one direct going to my resource server. Okay, you can see even if it is web agent or anything, this request is going to my application server. Second, you can see here. Now what will happen, it will ask, it will check whether you are authorized user or unauthorized user. It will verify that credentials whatever it has to ask. I mean, for authentication identity it will ask, I should say in very simple thing, it will ask for authentication. So this authentication verification will go to this only, whether you are authorized or not, provide me your password and all, very simple. So now what will happen here, this is one, okay, this is second here, and this is third. So now this web browser, what this web browser will do here, so now you can see here this is fourth step. Okay, fourth step here, it will ask this KDC environment, this Kerberos server, this authentication server, please give me something which can verify my identity on the network. Okay, so this request is coming, this is third and this is fourth going to KDC. Now this KDC will generate one ticket, I told you, like ticket will be generated. Okay, so it will generate that ticket, and again this is the fifth. Now once this user or this client is having that ticket, now it will send once again to this, I got this ticket and this information, this secret, this password, this information from my database server, or this is my identity. Okay, because this is a database, here every identity will be stored, every detail will be stored about that particular client. So now it will resubmit that information which he got from here. So now what will happen, this is sixth. Okay, and now again that information came to this server. Now this server will send it to once again to this KDC environment for verification. Did you give this information? Do you have this information about this user? Okay, cross verification will happen here. So now this will tell you, this KDC environment will tell to the server, yes, he is the authorized user, he has all the rights to access resources. So now this information from 7 to 8 will come from here to once again to this environment. Okay, from here he will get confirmation about this user, then only what will happen, he will get access to resources. So this is 8. Now from here this 8th step is done. Now this 10, now that user will get access to the resources. This is the 9th step here. Okay, and we'll go to browser, and this is browser here only, and on browser all the information will be displaying here. This is the 10th. If I am using any browser or whatever, any run command, so I can see this is the 10th step, I will be able to see. So this is a process, guys. This authentication process takes place in Kerberos, and if you want to understand it, let me show you one that is step by step once again, authentication, how it happens. So I hope it is very clear, I gave you very clear picture about it, that how this process will happen or how it takes place. And if you have any doubt, I will make it a little more clear. Okay, here also I will show you one more example. And guys, let's see here, the protocol flow consists of the following step. Okay, once again if I tell you about the whole process, let's see from the very beginning. Step 1. Okay, so initial client authentication request, very simple, same thing I'm telling you. This first one, this client will request for authentication. Okay, from here this is the first step. Once again, even you can read step by step here. So what will happen, the user asks for ticket granting ticket from the authenticated server, that is authentication server. This request includes the client ID. So I have even given you full explanation here, detail here, what will happen here. Next, what will happen, the KDC verifies the client's credentials, and the authentication server checks the database for the client and TGC's availability. If the authentication server finds both values, it generates the client's user ID secret employing the user's password hash. So now this is what second step. So it is going from here and then here to here. it will check whether I have some ticket or not, available ticket or not, whether its username and password is correct or not. If he finds available, what was this, available, like TGS, it will apply that, and it will add that hash value to password, user's password, and then we'll see what is happening in next. So guys, here you can see, like, the authentication server then computes the TGS secret key and create a session key. So it is creating one session key with that username and password, whatever information came from client, and it is added that TGS. Okay, and that will be encrypted. This will encrypt all the information by the encrypted by the session key. Now what will happen? The authentication server then generate TGT containing a client ID, network ID, client network address, timestamp. This much information will be there inside that. Whatever the information it is giving to client, it will add in that. Okay. And the TGS secret key then encrypts the ticket. So it is a complete encryption kind of thing. Okay. And this is what, once again, I will discuss about it. The same thing is like, this is a client computer. Okay, client trying to log in or trying to access. So it is going to second, or you can say the first step is this, and it is going for authentication server, and it is giving TGT, and this is coming to granting server here, ticket granting server, and it is giving, I mean, like, password and all came to this, and it has added all the information, whatever it has to add, whatever encryption it has to do with that application, password and all. Then it is going to client. Now client is providing to server, and then server is going providing, allowing to client. Okay, even you can understand from here, but let me show you next step. So guys, the client decrypt all the message. In third step, this message is coming from this authentication server. Okay, authentication server, it will decrypt what message came to me. This one, this will be decrypted, because this entire process or entire information will be given to client from here only. So whatever this authentication has to do, whatever ticket granting server has to do, they will do, and they will send it to client, and he will that server, that client will decrypt it. Now next procedure, the client uses TGT to request access. Now it will provide you, this client will provide you that TGT came to client for service access. Okay, and this is what I have mentioned here. And next, what will happen, the KDC creates a ticket for the file server, and you can see here once again the next step, and finally the KDC creates the service ticket that includes the client's ID and client address, a couple of things here, and this ticket is then encrypted with the server secret key obtained from the database. The client receives a message containing the service ticket and the SK2, all encrypted with SK1. So this SK2 is like if the first SK1 is expired, so it will give you another. That is what I couldn't speak here. Okay. So guys, I hope this is very clear, this authentication process. And once he receives, the client decrypt the message using SK1 and extract SK2. This is secret key. Okay, and this is the procedure they follow. And here next, what will happen, the target server receives decryption and authentication. So the information this application server will be receiving, and it will decrypt and verify with this authentication server, and if this server found it is correct from both the end, it will give you authentication. And very simple, if the ticket is missing, something is missing, in that condition, user or that client will not be able to get any access. It will get denied message. So guys, this is what I thought to discuss in this video, and I hope it is very clear. You can understand from here only this picture and the graphic I showed you here, and it was the end of this video, and I tried to give my best which can help you, and I'm sure it is helpful only. And if you feel it is helpful, please guys, don't forget to subscribe channel, comment, like and share this video. If you need this PPT, you can message me, you can drop, you can comment, I can send you, and even you can go through step by step. And guys, if you are reading, if you are watching my video, please make a note, take a pen and paper and make a note. That note will be your actual learning, because what I believe, watching a video and listening will not be sufficient to memorize each and everything, but what notes you make will be your learning. You can you can understand better, this is what I have understood and this is what was message given over there. So always take a pen and paper, and I will meet you in next video. Till then, bye bye. And once again, I tell you, it is informative. Please do subscribe, like, comment. Until then, bye bye.